well, and it's a 12.2 megapixel wide angle lens. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Google at that time in 2017 was making probably one of the best, cameras of that time. And for a single camera lens, it's actually pretty impressive. You can do 4K at 30. It's a 12.2 megapixel lens, like I stated. You have optical image stabilization, laser autofocus, but you can only shoot at 4K at 30. Nowadays, we can do 4K at 60. Even the iPhones of that year could do 4K at 60. So that's another kind of weird thing. It's like, I wish they could take it up a notch, no pun intended, but that's really what they did at that time. So there's really nothing we can do about it. Now, on top of that, it is a single camera lens. So you don't have a ultra wide sensor. You don't have a telephoto lens. So that's another, it may be a minor thing to some people, and it kind of is, but it's also kind of like an annoying thing. I wish they could, develop a little bit of a better camera at that time. They still only do dual camera setups. I wish they could do triple or quad, but I still think for what it is and for this phone, the quality is great. The video quality is pretty good. Of course, it's not the best of ever time, but I think for a lot of people out there, it's still okay. And if I had to use this camera, I'd probably be okay with it. But I think the front camera is probably the bigger deal, the 8 megapixel lens. You can only do 1080p videos on that. Nowadays, we can do 4K at 60 on it. So that's another kind of big thing. If you're somebody who's, filming a lot of videos on their front camera, or if you're making a lot of TikToks or Snapchats, or you're, video calling a lot of people, you're probably going to notice that this camera quality isn't as great as something like a Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. So that's probably where the biggest differentiating factors come from. But I still think for this device, it's totally okay for the time being. So in terms of the camera and in terms of the outside, that pretty much covers it up.